Oh, hello. Hi there, everybody. We're live. The glare in my glasses is from a little light that I got to try to light up my face a little bit. I've noticed that a lot of the videos that I got, we need to try to cut the volume down on YouTube here. There. That's better. Anyway, hope that's all right. A glare in my glasses, but I can't see without them, so we got to do them. Hi, all. Let's see who all's there. Alice. Hello, Alice. Hi. Aquaballs, fishing carts. Kay Holiday. Hi, Kay. Chewy. Jellyfish. DMC. Chattanooga Ed. Salacevik. Pamela Fridio. Fridio. Herp Diversity. Father Fish is here. Ashendran Naidu. Griffin. And StreamYard. We're on StreamYard, of course. So how's everybody? I hope we're all hale and hearty. I am working at being hale and hearty. I determined about 2 weeks ago that I'm not sick and I'm not going to act like it. And I'm going to get out there and do my thing. So I'm out there doing my thing. I have opened the shop Friday a week ago. I think a few of you probably knew about that. And it's been going really, really, really well. I'm very pleased and gratified because I lost a month's income. I don't think I'll make it up, but I'm doing better than average. So that's a good thing. Let's see, who asked me? Somebody asked me about, here it is, herp diversity. Any tips on breeding bluefin killifish, flagfish, or Everglades pygmy sunfish? Yeah, set them up in as natural an environment as you can. Keep the species separated. Feed them without fouling the water. Most of them prefer live food. So Daphne is good, fairy shrimp, anything you can catch wild and culture is perfect. The flagfish are algae eaters, along with local mollies, so they're a lot easier to feed. The pygmy sunfish and Florida, the bluefin flags, bluefin killies require live food. You can do blackworms if you can get it. My suggestion would be to start a Daphne culture or a springtail culture or any kind of a small bug culture or any kind of a little aquatic animal culture and keep them fed on that. That also prevents the tank from what the babies are going to require when they hatch. And good luck with that. It's not hard to do it if you're mixing populations of fish because they tend to predate on each other. Chattanooga, I'm going to be doing a lot of work today, but I'll be listening if I'm not in chat. Well, good luck with your work, Chattanooga. Hi, Chevy Fish. What's up? Well, I'll tell you what's up. My channel is up. I have a video that has absolutely exploded. I'm up to 7,000 views. I'm up to almost 10,000 views on a video that 1 week ago was at 600. In the last 2 weeks, my subscriptions have gone up by 400 from like 12 to 18, 600. 600 since the 1st of April, 400 in the last week. So I don't quite know what's happening, but I'm real excited about it. And I'm doing some more work on my channel to try to improve it and make it more accessible. So that's kind of exciting. I expect to hit 2,000 subscribers by the end of the week. So that's kind of exciting. Alice is ready. What you ready for, Alice? Let's see. Let me hit the bottom here. Don't forget to hit the like button. You gotta go back to, there we are. Thank you, Kay. Yeah, it's pretty exciting stuff. Let's see, you know what I can do here? Since I don't need to see myself on YouTube. There we go. Yeah, that's a video I did about 4 months ago. So it kind of languished for a long time. What I'm hoping is I've been working on trying to clean up and make some other videos more accessible. Changing the titles, doing more text, putting more tags in. So I'm hoping that, and there has been movement on some of them. So I'm hoping when this one begins to blow out that something else will take its place. We'll see. But it's fun just to watch the algorithm work. Fishing Carts is uploading a video. I've got 2 videos in the works. One, a viewer wanted me to do one on feeding, just going around feeding all the fish, which I've never done. So I probably will do that. I use a number of different kinds of food, so that'll be interesting. And the other one is, I call it the next step, taking the next step. So we'll see. I've got to do more work on that in preparation to make clear what the next step is. But I think it's something everybody will enjoy. How are the jars doing? We might take a little look at them later. The one that I redid is doing really well. That was the mud tank. That one looks pretty good. The others are kind of so-so. I'm trying to get my phone is currently out of juice, so I'm waiting for it to charge enough, and I'll go back and we'll look at them. Gardening in Florida, thank you. Yeah, I've got a number of SUBSTRATE videos, and that is, I think it's one of the most interesting ones because I show a lot of different aquariums. to fishing carts. Would love to see a full shop tour. You know, I've done shop tours a couple of times, and I keep leaving stuff out because it gets so long. But I probably really ought, that mostly what I leave out is the saltwater, which is a shame because I've now got it cleaned up and it's interesting. Which video? It's the one entitled, what is it entitled? I gave it a name. Deep substrate is the deep substrate in your aquarium is the key to success. Is the name of it. It's about, I don't know, I have to look. I think it's at about 8,000. Is this it? No. Let's take a look and see. $8.7 thousand. And nothing else is even close to that. I mean, the closest I've got to that is, I think, 3,000, roughly 3,000. But I've got a group, popular downloads. Creating aquatic soil is at 3, and then 3 crimes is at 2, and the dirted tank is at 2. So they're in the wings, ready to take the place. So that's kind of exciting stuff. Let's see. The native killifish, they're all doing really well. I haven't lost anything. I've been feeding blackworms mostly. I've also got a pretty good microphoniculture going in out from the store in my boat. So I've been feeding that. Okay, I wound up with about 20 more Elosoma. Now, that was really interesting. The first ones we caught the week before, I've only ever caught Everglade down in this area. So I naturally assumed that's what they were. But they didn't look like it. And I thought at first, well, they're just washed out as salt. But then I looked at them, and they're not Everglade. They are the other one. God, my brain is hopeless. Okefenokee. They're Okefenokee, which is a completely different pattern on the male. So that's what we began catching. And then all of a sudden, Frank said, "What's this?" And in the exact same location, he brought over an Everglade, distinctly Everglade, black with a field of blue spots. I talked to Mike LaBello, who's active in the Tampa Club, and has worked with the guys who are the professionals in native species. And they believe that the two species do not crossbreed, which would explain why we were able to find both species in precisely the same location. So that was pretty interesting. And yes, they're in the tank. I've got them all mixed in a 40 breeder, which we can try to look at. I don't know if we'll really be able to see anything, but we'll give it a go. Oh dear God, DMC is asking, how's Tammy doing with the dirted 10-gallon tank I sold her for guppies? Well, that's a story. About 2 months after I sold Tammy, we have a nice video of that. After about 2 months after I sold her that tank, her husband and daughter came in to inform me that she had died. She had cancer terminal, and this was kind of her last hurrah with fish. And they wanted to keep the tank going. So I helped them set it up again so that it was okay. And I haven't heard back from them, but I showed them the video, which they had not seen. So, of course, it brought them to tears, but it was just a nice tribute to her, such a sweet lady, and such a sad story to have to tell you all. Fishing carts saying, yay, a story. Yeah, some stories are not sweet. Well, maybe they're sweet, but sweet and sad. Not a happy story, no. She was happy that day. She absolutely was. Okie Finoki, yes. What did I say? Is that what I said? I think that's what I said. I don't remember what I said. With summer tubing, will it all go through nitrogen cycles? Sure. Fishing cart's got a bike and can't ride it because all the motor vehicle offices are closed. What a bummer. Fish room fever. I just posted the video. Thank you. 8.7 should hit 9. That's 300 short. Probably hit 9 by the end of the day. Today it's been doing about 1,000 to 1,500 hits a day for the last 5 days. The beard is on fleek. Waterborne tropicals. Uh-oh. Am I still on? What have I done here? Oh, I see. I'm just not watching myself. Hi, guys. Gardening in Florida did a 55-gallon dirted. Terrific. Good job. Welcome, Dave Atkins, who retracted his message. Thank you, Jess Norman. Exciting stuff. I figure when I hit 100,000, it might be meaningful. Might be meaningful money. So far, it's what is it? I think it's a penny. It's $1 a thousand. That's a penny per 10 views. A penny per 10 views. I don't know if that's average or not. Empire Gudgeons, nice. Yeah, I just got a group of them in. Fish streams, they are such great fun to catch. Now, what I have are actually not pygmy sunfish. It's a separate species. The Ellisoma is referred to that way, but it's really not a pygmy sunfish. The pygmy sunfish are a little bigger. They're upwards of an inch and come in a number of different patterns, a number of different species. And I've yet to catch one of those. Can you use compost instead of potting soil? Paul Hatting asks. Absolutely. What I would do with the compost is mix in something like peat moss or even a fine mulch to give it a little more aeration. The compost tends to be dense. You can mix sand in with it, that'll work okay. What works better would be mulch, to mix mulch in. I use a lot of sphagnum mulch, peat moss. Peat moss is good. Ostracods, absolutely. That's the word, Chevy Fish. Ostracods. Dave Atkins, hello from Minnesota. LRB Terminal, nice to have you here, David. Fish Room Fever, hey, hey. Sorry I missed your vid last night. I caught just a minute of it. I've been so freaked out about what's happening on my channel. I've not been able to take my eyes off of it. Fish streams, thank you. I'm doing so much better. I'm feeling really good. Rose, congrats on the rep. Yeah, it's popping along. We'll see. I think it's starting to level out. I was looking at the line, the graph 1814 under channel analytics, overview views. Yesterday 3520, the day before 1738. Now that was on the first. There were 3,500 views. Yesterday 4,600. So it doubled between Tuesday and Wednesday, Wednesday and Thursday, Thursday and Friday, and then Friday to Saturday increased by about 50%. So I don't know quite what that means. It's still on the grow. The subscribers has done the same thing. That went from 63 on Thursday to 137 on Friday, and then 153 on Saturday. So it's still pretty substantial growth, but I think it's leveling out. Probably another day or two, and we'll see it straight line horizontal instead of straight line vertical the way it was. That was kind of remarkable. Let me get back in the picture here. Sorry. I'm not watching myself, so I tend to slump over. Let's see. I'll be going backwards here. Elmer Fudd. Elmer Fudd, Kaylor, what's Elmer Fudd? Elmer Fudd from Sharpies. Chewy's talking about. If your eye be full of light, how great is that light? Shine on Father Fish. Nice, DMC. Appreciate that. And Aquawall's just got new fish, which I think he just talked about. Paul Hutting. Hello, hello, Scott Becker. Roe. Hello, Roe. And I think I'm all the way back. Chewy was on Isolation Island late last night. Oh, neat. Yeah, we did. Okay. I'm going to go all the way to the bottom. Wabbit season. Fishing Card says it's wabbit season. which I'm sure pertains to something somebody said back there somewhere. Maria Z. Thank you so much, Maria. Punchy Paints. Hi, Punchy. Hi, guys. How are you? Danny Ken's here. Hi, Danny Ken. Down the wormhole. Hello, hello. What fish can be kept with that type moss as mulch with low pH effect? Fish Dreams asking. Well, low pH. Bettas, tetras, killies, like clown killies, batis. Those are all fish that like a low pH. In fact, I keep a lot of those in RO water, simply because they seem to they seem to hold up better. Rose saying she can't wait until she comes visit. Well, likewise, we were going to try to get Lucas here in February. I mean, yeah, February and then March and then April. But we've had to cancel our club meeting in April because of things like airlines. So we have a president who is a member of the Florida bureaucracy. He works for the state as a botanist, a biologist. A sweet man, excellent fish keeper. In fact, I just spent $400 with him yesterday getting some fancy plecos and the like. So he made the call as president that we're not going to have a meeting for the third month in a row. So hopefully by next month we'll get it back and try to get Lucas down here. A mountain minnow with its shell sticking out, Alice says. What are you talking about, shells? Oh, you mean its scales. Hi, what's up?
Hey, I got a question. Do you have any
Plants
plants under $20?
under $20
Salt.
for salt. I don't really have any plants at all in salt water.
What about your life?
Well, I got a few. I've got green star polyp and I have a zinnia. That's about it.
Hey, tell me what those,
The zinnia's on that side in the big tray, and the green star polyp's on the left.
how much do those go for?
It depends on size. Little ones are 10, and it goes up to the big ones at
What color
40.
are they?
Well, they're brown right now.
Okay. Thank you.
A mountain minnow with its scales sticking out. Sounds not good, Alice. Find a coin in a fish's mouth. I think I did, DMC. We're being biblical here, I see. Yes, it's happened before. That was to pay taxes. Actually, it happens to me all the time. I just got a coin in a fish last week. Somebody gave me a 300-gallon Lake New acrylic tank. Now they're going to get a little back on it, but it'll give me something to sell that will pay some bills. So yeah, it happens all the time. Fishing Dreams is in the Gulf Coast area, so are you near us then? Come visit. Kaler. All right. fitted tank. Dave Atkins, apparently you're using autocorrect because it doesn't make sense. Try again. Filtered whatever, dirted tank. Thank you. Kaler, hate to waste my time, that's why I asked him. What are we talking about? I was going out to get it, but James did. Things are opening up in Florida. Yeah, they are. I'll tell you what, we are open. There's nothing closed about Father Fish. Yeah, Chevy, the 8.7 is today. 2 weeks ago, it was 600. Oh, okay, got it. Got it. I was trying to understand what Kaler was referring to. I got it. Let me get back over to Stormtrooper here. Yes. Okay, I need to make a run here. Somebody is ready. So we'll go see what he's ready for. Back in a minute. Oh, what's up?
Everything.
Right. Show up. $25. Thank you. Next card.
Thanks.
All right, I'm back and I locked the door. Let's see. Priscilla MK Art, listening while doing the usual Sunday chores. Let's see. Alice K, let's deal with your shells sticking out of your mountain minnow. Mountain minnow. You got to work at getting a mountain minnow to get dropsy. Is it just the one that you're having problems with? Usually that's a sign of a bacterial disease in the gut of the fish. It's almost impossible to cure. Try some garlic. Crush up some garlic, mix it in with the food, and feed that. If you can get them to eat that garlic, it could kill the bacteria that's causing the problem. The other thing you can do is put a very tiny amount of Epsom salts in the water. I don't believe in it personally, but a lot of people recommend it. The garlic I know works well. Try it, see if it works. It's a matter of getting the fish to eat. Back to the bottom. Sounds like dropsy, yeah. RJ Red says stars burn brightest at noon, the sun being a star. David Atkins says tuna salad, and Holly Gibbs says pineapple. And Alice says she's probably in pain. I don't think so. I am pretty sure that fish do not experience pain. And the reason I say that is because I have seen fish with mortal injuries, half the body taken over, and they swim as normally as they're capable of swimming. They don't go into contortions. They don't twist. They don't act like they're in agony. They function relative to their condition, what I would describe as normal. So I don't know. I don't know of any scientific studies on the neurological responses of fish to injury or disease, but my sense is that they do not experience pain. I'm willing to be proven wrong. RJ Ritz is locked in. Oh. Let's see what we missed. When he comes back, we should all say something completely random. Aha! Aha! Fishing carts. I got you. Right. Like lobster bisque. You're right, though. It is confusing. I got to agree. Although I thought RJ Ritz, stars burn brightest at noon, was pretty apropos of what I don't know, but apropos. Alice K so far underlined. Rose, forgot you're unable to keep cool water fish. Yeah, it's right now it's fine, but this summer is going to be rough. I did set up a cool water tank using the freezer in my utility refrigerator and running a pump with a hose in it through that coiled, about 25 feet coiled in the freezer. And that worked out pretty well. Fans also help. I do have tanks I can set up as cool water tanks, so I'm ready to give it a go. Priscilla, thank God. Glad to hear I'm not the only one working in this industry does not believe in Epsom salts for infections. Sure, it can have its benefits for constipation and electrolytes, but that's it. Really, I tend to agree. RJ Ritz, read your nonsense post, not your real post. I couldn't tell the difference, RJ. Alice, a dude in my local fish store just said I should put a little salt every time I do a water change. You're only doing that if you want to increase the salt contact, that is to say, the hardness of the water. Very few carbonates in salt, so it's not going to really help in that respect. But it will increase the what's it, KH? Or DH? DH. Fishing carts caught red-handed. Right you are. All right. Yes, do please, Rose. I'll do what I can. I think I can make it happen. Chevy fish, I don't do clove oil. Takes too long to die. I drop fish in a baggie inside a paper bag to avoid seeing the fish. Start my car, put bag behind tire and back up. How dare I? Well, I can think of some fish I wouldn't do that with, like Plecostomus, that could puncture your tire and would do so given the opportunity. That maybe will work for a tetra or maybe even an Oscar. Oh, they could squiggle out. I don't know. Sounds a little gruesome to me, Chevy. A little gruesome. Riding over. I'll tell you what I do. Oh, you don't want to know what I do. Never mind. I'm not going to tell you what I do. When I can, I feed it to big fish. That's one of the things I do. If I got a fish up to 6 inches long that is terminal, I'll feed it to a big fish because I got big fish. Holly, how do we order plants directly from you? GetGill's having shipping issues. Yeah, I noticed that. Call me. Let me put my number down. Good Lord. There we go. Telephone 941 266 9998 or email at, God, I can't type worth the or at other fish. grandfatherfish.net. Largemouth bass and a green sunfish if eat any small dying fish. Yeah, it's perfect. Freezing is humane, fish streams. That was one of the other things I do. I'll put stuff in the freezer. Now, I have to tell you a story. Here we go. Another story. I had some, what were they? It's some little tiny furry animal that I had to get rid of. And I didn't want to smash its head or cut its head off or twist its neck or any such thing. And I know that when things are in a freezer, they just kind of go to sleep. So I put these guys in the freezer. And I went back 2 days later. They had eaten a couple of fish I put in there, made a nest, and had babies. Didn't work. So it depends on what you're putting in. Chevy fish. I have car running. My kids put it in bag right at the tire and back up. Found no quicker way. Was vet recommended years ago. That's really interesting. Vet recommended that you run over your fish with your car. It just sounds peculiar to me. I don't know. They huddle up to keep warm. Yeah, really. Oyster shell instead of crushed coral. Yeah, oyster shell's good. I love it. Freshwater, large bird, saltwater predator. Yeah, that's good. Put fish in a bag and smack it on the floor. That works. Fish Stream says, holy cow. There's another one. If you have dry ice, you can get works for small mammals. Yeah, I guess it would, wouldn't it? What's that, frozen nitrogen? That would, well, it's not toxic, but it probably is oxygen deprived. If a vet suggested that in the UK, he'd be hauled across the coals, probably lose his license. Used for the CO2. Gotcha, Dansley says. Chevy oyster shells also contain sodium. If you don't want to add salt, dolomite. Dolomite's best. Yeah, dolomite's good. CO2 pulls below the air, so a bucket. Put it in a bucket. Oh, here we go. Flushed my friend's kid dead goldfish, told him it leads to the ocean. Yeah, Shades of Nemo. I thought that was probably the most outrageous lesson that movie taught. That flushing fish down the toilet frees them into the ocean. That was so fundamentally inane. I was in shock that Disney would propose such a thing. I can just imagine some little 3 or 4-year-old freeing Nemo by flushing him down the toilet. Or worse yet, some $200 fish. Oh, dear God. Alice. All right. Alice beats him. She beats him. She rolls him in toilet paper and smacks him with her shoe. I swear, people, honest to Pete. Kay Holiday, as the next vet nurse. Holly Gibbs. Oh, dear. Okay, Holiday, a priest. I believe it's called what anglers use to dispatch. All right, what are we? I thought I was keeping up, but I'm obviously not. Okay, Holiday, missed the whole relevance of that. Alice says it die right away. I'm sure it does, Alice. Do you put your shoe back on when you're done? Because toilet paper is kind of porous. I don't know. Oh, here we go. DMC is proposing that Alice is savaging her fish with the spike of a 5-inch heel. Ha ha! Undoubtedly. Holly Gibbs says you're doing great. Don't know who you're referring to, Holly, but I think it probably applies to everybody here. Alice says, I'm in Europe. We don't wear shoes inside. Really? We got a lot of people around here who don't wear shoes outside either. A lot of them. Amazing how many. I had a friend, here's a story. I had a friend who used to come in the shop all the time. He worked in a bait shop, and he helped to set up the shrimp system and bought lots of equipment from me for it, paid for it out of his own pocket, and then had a hard time collecting. But he had cancer, and he was in treatment for it. I knew him for probably 2 years. One day, after about 2 years, he came in. I hadn't seen him in a little while. He said, the doctor told me I've got 1 week left. So I'm going around saying goodbye to everybody. And I said to him, Tom, I'm going to miss you. Are you okay with the Lord? And he said, yes, I sure am. And we embraced, and he left. And I never saw him again alive. I was invited to his funeral, showed up. He was barefoot. He was always barefoot, never wore shoes. He was a hobbit, too, stood about 5 foot tall. Sweet, sweet man. At the funeral, I walked down to the front, down to the lectern, took off my shoes, and started out by saying, this is hallowed ground. Sweet, sweet man. And then I was able to tell the family that he told me that he was right with the Lord, and they thanked me because they didn't know for sure. So that was, that's that story. A priest, poacher's tool for killing game. Really? A spiked heel. Interesting. Fishing cards just retracted again. If you'll stop doing that, I'm sure we're excited about what you're saying. Alice says, if the fish is going to die, I want to kill it myself. Oh. If the fish is going to die, okay. So you're accepting personal responsibility for your charges. Well, I can appreciate that. I mean, I could even honor that. I have a story about that, but I ain't going to tell it. I got in trouble once for telling that story. I ain't going to tell it again. Bad story. All right, where are we? Time-wise, we're getting close, guys. We got about 10 minutes. All right. Flat heel. Oh, flat heel. What is going on? I'm hearing water spraying. I guess my girl is doing something. Andy Ashtray. Does your diet tanks not suffer from high nitrates? We're going to call it dirted tanks. The trick, Andy, is to cap it with 2 inches of sand so the dirt stays down under the sand. That's the trick. And if you'll do that, the waste will all precipitate down through the sand into the dirt where it will break down. And the roots, which have also gone down in there into that anaerobic layer, will take up the nutrients. So that's the theory. But yes, sometimes, and tanks have been sitting for years, I sometimes find high nitrates. Nothing consistent, don't know why. Alice says, how am I supposed to kill it? I don't know. You kill it with your shoe. I mean, that's probably the best weapon you have at hand. So DMC says you got the point. Right, he's still into his 5-inch spiked heel. Do. Fishing carts. Doesn't wear shoes outside unless he has to. Well, there are times when you have to. RJ Ritz, Alice, by all means, do what you need. I put 4 drops of clove oil in a 1/4 gallon of water, put the fish in, it goes to sleep. 5 minutes later, put in 12 drops and kill it. Clove oil. DMC, thank you. Thank you. It's a heartfelt story. And Alice doesn't know what clove oil is. They know what cloves are. As in cloven hoofs, the things you hit fish with when you want to kill them. Okay, Brian. Quastenite. Brian DeQuastenite. I have 2 containers with sintered glass medium in my external pot filter. I bought it at the time for bacteria to colonize in. What do you think of this medium as filter material? Is it of use? Yeah, probably. Cap it with 2 inches of sand and it'll be fine. Fishing carts, you might want to check the water thing. Alice, oh yes, Kay is explaining that it's used for toothache remedy. She'll be able to get it from the pharmacy. It guarantees the fish will never have a toothache. HC Aqua, you're saying hello to Alice. Alice is going to beat you up. She's going to use a book next time. Don't use a book. Don't use a book. Don't use a book. Use a brick. A brick will work. Oh, Holly Gibbs. Yeah, well, the thing about crawfish is that they are, they'll eat everything. Everything. They'll eat your plants. They'll eat your fish. They'll eat your food. They'll eat your finger if you leave it in there. All right. Chevy fish. Don't worry, Alice. Think of all the people who go fishing and rip the hook out of the fish's mouth along with its guts and throw it back in the lake to suffer. People judge until it happens to them. Who's this? Chevy fish. Ah, oh dear. Uh, I don't wish it on you, Chevy. Saw you fall asleep last night, Jesse. I got a story about falling asleep online. Was doing Zoom with my doctor last week. And I got him up and I propped up right here, just propped myself up in front of the computer and sat there waiting. And half an hour later, he hadn't come on. And I sent him an email and I said, "Where are you?" And he said, "I didn't want to wake you up." He should have woken me up. Alice says Aqua's really cute when he sleeps. Oh dear. Alice, you like playing whack-a-mole? Aha, aha, aha. It was a very dangerous thing, seeing them used as lethal weapons. Alice says I kill spiders the same way. Smack them with my shoe. Do you hold them by the lace or by the toe? By the toe or by the heel? Do you hit them with a heel or hit them with the toe? All right, Brian's going to get serious here. He says, "I'm sorry. I've seen just a couple of videos you've made. What is the main benefit of topping the filter material with sand? And why specifically sand?" Well, now you've done it. This is the question of the day. Why sand? Sand is a semi-permeable barrier that separates the water from the yuck. And in between is the sand. The yuck stays down with the yuck, the water stays up with the water, and never the twain shall meet except for the very slow and circuitous travel of the water through the sand, moved by the cilia of the little animalcules living in the sand that are whooshing the water through, and some actually go down into the muck until they need to breathe. Then they come back up and the water circulates that way. When it gets down in there, by that time the dirt is all that's moving down through precipitating into the soil, where it breaks down and becomes its natural chemical components. Now the roots begin their journey down through the sand into the yuck, where it picks up the nutrients. What was yuck is now yum, and it brings them up into the stem and the leaves of the plants, and they flourish and bloom and are utterly glorious. Thus the sand creates of foulness, wonder, and beauty. That's why Chattanooga had, well, I hope she liked that. Alice the Impaler. I like it. I like it. Yuck to you. Right. How we doing here? All right, we're done. We're done. That was enough story. Fishing carts feels for Alice. I'm going to have to watch that story later and see if it actually was in front of my face. It should have worked. All right, guys, we're going to wind it up here. Nice to be with you all. Okay, and Brian says thank you for the explanation. You betcha. Nice to be with you, everybody. Love you all. God bless you. And see you next time. Oh, we didn't get to look at this stuff. We'll do it on Wednesday. I'll remember. We're going to try to be out in the field again. I really want to get that working. I think I simply need to be closer to a tower. We lost signal and couldn't do much about it. But that was kind of fun. I want to do it again and make it work. Bless you all. Counting down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and goodbye, everybody. See you on Wednesday.